Hi, my name is Jenny and I will briefly introduce you to citing and referencing in the Chicago style. There are two versions of this style, an author date version and a notes and bibliography version. I will be explaining the notes and bibliography version. Here is an assignment I have begun writing on time management for students. To use the Chicago style, I need to include three things in my writing: an in-text citation, a footnote, and a full reference for the source in my bibliography. In my second paragraph here, I have given some information that prioritizing important tasks above urgent ones is an effective time management strategy. After this information, I have included a number 1. This indicates to the reader that this information came from another source. This is called an in-text citation. At the bottom of the same page, I have included a footnote, and this gives the full details of the book from where I got the information. The Chicago style also dictates that you must include full source details in a bibliography at the end of your writing. These appear in alphabetical order. So you will see here I have the full reference for the book, formatted in a slightly different way than the footnote. It includes the author, the title, the publisher, the place of publication, and the year. The bibliography will allow others to consult my sources and show evidence for any arguments or statements I have made. By including an in-text citation, footnote, and reference, I'm also avoiding plagiarism by clearly indicating which information comes from where. Now I will show you how to create and cite a reference for an ebook in the Chicago style. You will see here in the third paragraph, I have paraphrased some advice that students should use an online calendar or yearly planner to enter all important dates. After this paraphrase, I want to cite where the information came from. So to do that, I want to first put the in-text citation to indicate that there will be a footnote. So I go to References and Insert Footnote. As you can see, this puts a number 2 after the full stop, and it also puts a number 2 here in my footnotes. Now I need to include the full source details of the footnote in the bottom of the page. To find the full source details for my book, The Secrets of College Success, I have searched for it on UCD Libraries Search Facility OneSearch. I have the book here on screen, and if I click the inverted commas that say cite this item, I can click that and select Chicago Notes and Bibliography and copy and paste the information there into my assignment like this. Now this is not formatted exactly how it should be in the Chicago style. So what you need to do is go to the library's Chicago Style Guide and check how it should look and then edit it as it needs. To find the Chicago Style Guide, simply search for Chicago Style UCD Library and select the guide from there. We want to cite an ebook, so from the Books option, just scroll down and select the last one, eBooks. On this page here there's a panel and it shows you this is what a reference or a footnote should look like, and this is what a reference should look like for an ebook in the Chicago style. Now a handy trick which I find useful is to copy and paste either the template or the example of the particular item into the bottom of my document so that I can format my reference to look exactly how it should be. So this section here is what my reference should look like, and this is what it looks like at the moment. Now I have formatted the footnote correctly. So the kinds of changes that I had to make was the order of the author name, its first name, surname, rather than surname, first name. Instead of full stops, I have to put commas between things, and I had to put the publisher and the place of publication and the year in brackets. So it's slightly different. The next step then is to enter the full reference in the bibliography. This must be done in alphabetical order. The easiest way to do this is to copy the footnote and put it in the place in your bibliography where it should be. Then you can go back to the Chicago Style Guide, and you can see here it tells you exactly the format of what a reference should look like for an ebook. So you can do the same thing as you did before, copy and paste that in there and make sure the two look the same. So now I have formatted my reference correctly according to the style guide. Again, the main changes were the author's surname goes first in the reference instead of the first name. There are full stops between the different sections instead of commas, and I think they're the main changes. So the last thing I have to do is just format the way it looks, the indentation. So you can see it's what's called a hanging indent. The second line is further in than the first line. So if under paragraph you select hanging indentation and click OK, now my reference is formatted correctly with the hanging indentation. So that's the process that you go through for citing any source in the Chicago style. You get the details of the source and you look up the style guide for how that source should be formatted. Manually creating your references like this can be time consuming. If your lecturer is okay with it, you can use software to do this automatically. This is called EndNote, and the library has a guide on how to do it along with the tutorial and details of how to download it. You can get this at the link on screen. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you can either contact the liaison librarian for your area, or you're welcome to contact me at the email address on screen.